Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by Mike Grundy, who's going to take on Nik Lentz in Abu Dhabi. Look, Mike, you've had Christmas, so of course I want to say, hope you had a great New Year and Christmas with the family. Did you have a nice, healthy Christmas pudding?
No Christmas pudding for me. I mean, this year obviously cutting weight, so I've trained every day, including Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. I've trained every day you could really over Christmas. So it's been great. You know what I mean? I've spent time with my kids and my family and whatever, but I've still trained every day.
Yeah, nice, bro. And obviously with lockdown coming into effect again, you kind of experienced that last time. So how did that go for you?
I mean, I'm fortunate enough. I've got my own gym in Wigan, and obviously my son can fight, he can train. Last time I did that, I trained with him and I trained with the teams. But elite athletes can train, can't they, in the UK? So
Yeah.
I've been going to the pool obviously every day and stuff and training there. So training's not my life's not really changed too much with the lockdown. Apart from you can't really go out for any food or anything. My kids are not at school as well now. But nothing's changed much as far as my training.
Nice. And let's talk about last time out. You obviously had the injury after the fight that came about. I was very impressed, obviously, finding out that during the fight, was it the first round that happened? You said it was. You obviously adapted to it in the fight. What kind of difficulties did it propose to you when you were, for example, in the grappling stages? Because obviously turning your head around the corner, I imagine the pressure on the face. What kind of things, obviously something new to you with that incident in about, what did you learn from that?
Yeah, I mean, I broke my jaw the first round. Um, I knew I'd broke it well, pretty much as soon as it happened. My vision was the problem. My vision went
Right.
uh, very blurry. I don't know if you watch back the fight, you can see halfway through that when I finished the first round and the second round. When I finished the round, I don't know where my corner is, so I just stand
Mm.
there and wait for the coach to come and get me to take me to my corner. So that's how much my vision was blurred. But yeah, the reason I went back and watched it to see after the fight, I watched it to see exactly where I broke it, because when I took him down, he was just throwing little shots on the ground from his
Mm.
back, and they was hitting the side of my jaw. And obviously, usually they don't bother you. They're not the fine. They're just
No.
little punches. But I could feel them, so it was broke. Then probably I think it was the first minute. It could have broke on actually on a leg attack. The start of the break anyway. A leg attack that I'd done. I either banged on his knee or his hip on the way in, and then later on he's caught me with a decent right hand as I kicked, and that's probably finished the breakage off, and that's when my vision went a little bit. But yeah, it definitely was a changing point in the fight, because I'd say I won that first round and nearly finished him that first round, but
Hmm.
you know it was definitely chipping away at me, and it was obviously I was gutted after the loss, but it is what it is, and with her fighting it, we're going to get broken jaws at some point, I'm sure.
Well, I was super impressed, like the same, makers to come over, like when you see that performance, then go back, it's far more impressive you when you realise, because if you think about it, you could easily take a few more shots there, and your body might just go, no, not doing this anymore, and your body could have shut down on you. So you managed it really well. But one thing I thought your striking has come on leaps and bounds as always, but there it looked particularly a bit more loose. You looked a bit more fluid with some of your striking. Is that something you're just obviously train and drill all the time, but is that a confidence thing that you're now realising that you have got good hands, you have got good range of distance with your striking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always working on it, obviously, and it sets up my takedowns really well. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm with the best striking coach in the world in Colin Herring, and training with people like Darren Till, who's probably one of the best strikers in the UFC. So you can't go wrong with people like that. Tom Aspinall, obviously top boxer. So we're watching and training with people like that. So it's always going to come on.
Yeah, of course. And Nik Lentz, your opponent, he's a gritty wrestler. So, and he's obviously over time he started to use his striking a bit more. It's almost I like this matchup because it's going to be a contest of if it's going to be difficult to get the fight to the ground for the pair of you because you might cancel each other out with your experience the pair of you have, your knowledge of reversals, getting back to the feet, etc. So it might almost be a battle of wits on the feet on who can get the better striking. What have you? Obviously, you've watched Nik Lentz, I imagine, a few times, and you're watching the UFC. As an opponent, what do you think of Nik Lentz?
Like I said, he's tough, gritty fighter with a lot of experience. Fought the best of the best out there, and he's been in the top 10 a few times in the lightweight and the featherweight division. So yeah, I'm not taking him for granted. I'm not taking him lightly, but I do believe I'm going to win this fight. Like you say, he's got good wrestling, but I definitely feel man's better. I think I can push the pace a little bit more than he can. and it's definitely a great name for me to take and beat.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And what I was going to say to you, the thing is, without the fans there, what difference? Obviously, you've experienced it. What did you find? Did you find anything different? Did it help you in any way with the corner? Because they obviously can talk to you, and you can hear them a lot clearer than crowd shouting, etc. Was there any pros and cons you find without the crowd?
I mean, I felt my adrenaline kicked in a little later than usual. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you
Mm.
walk out, the crowd and the
Yeah,
fans, feed off them, and your adrenaline kicks in straight away. But with no fans there, it felt just a little bit later. It felt like as soon as when I got in the cage and then I touched gloves, then I started, my adrenaline kicked in and I started getting a little bit more focused. So that was probably a mistake on my behalf. I've got to kick myself up the arse a little early this time, but it was different. But it's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's fine.
yeah, and I think obviously you getting a name guy like Nik Lentz, who's a great opponent to have, and then you've got Frank Mir's son as well, Aspinall, who's facing Orlovsky. You've got a couple of great names your gym has coming up now. It's something like a little bit of a buzz going between you guys, I imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great start of the year for T Carbon. I'm gonna go and get the win this next weekend, and then obviously Tom's gonna come back in February and he's gonna beat Orlovsky, the ex-champion. So it's gonna be great vibes, and then hopefully Till can get out soon as well. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good start to 2021 for us.
I expect to get fights. The UFC have got the fight cards going on. Whether obviously one thing I found that with UFC Las Vegas was there was a high percentage of the fights that either get pulled, withdrawn because of basically people not keeping their eye on things with COVID, etc. I find with the Abu Dhabi cards, there's a higher probability that fights go ahead. Do you enjoy the Abu Dhabi trip in that way? Do you find it as a bit more as a fighter? Do you find it's a bit more security on the cards on as opposed to a Vegas card?
I mean, seems a little, looking at it, it seems a little more stricter going to
Yeah,
Abu Dhabi. The COVID restrictions, the COVID things that we have to do, like quarantine in London, quarantine in Abu Dhabi, and things like that, and the amount of tests we have. I think we're getting tested every 2 days while we're in Abu Dhabi.
yeah,
So um, that's obviously why it's obviously worked on it. Like last time, Vegas, like you said, there was like 3 pullouts a few weeks ago, like 9 hours before the fight. So
yeah.
I think that's why originally I think I was supposed to be on in Vegas, but they've moved it to Abu Dhabi because of probably that reason. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy going out to Abu Dhabi. I mean, I think it works in my favour, the fact that we're fighting out there rather than Vegas, because he has to travel further away.
Yeah,
I've fixed all this already. I've done all these tests and I've done all this quarantining and I've been there and fought there with no fans. I don't think he's even fought with no fans yet. So he's going to have a different experience to what I'm going to have. I'm going to have, in that sense, even though he's fought in UFC a long time and he's got a lot of experience, I've got the experience on my side a little bit as well in this sense.
and we're in 2021 now. Mike, what goals have you kind of set yourself kind of goals this year? Have you got a goals target of maybe fights this year? Have you got anything in mind, or is it just you take each fight as it comes?
I mean, I always take each fight as it comes, but I want to be well more active this year, obviously,
Mm.
because I need to make up for lost time. I made my debut in 2019, sorry,
Mm.
and I had a good debut, and then I obviously had to fight for a while because I was injured, and then the pandemic hit us, and it put me back a little bit. But I want to be active as I can this year. I mean, put it one way, if there's any fights going on that Wednesday and that Saturday card the week after, I'm in it.
If I do 3 in a week. Look, I'm looking forward to this year, and it's kicking off. Obviously, like you said, there are 3 fights, 3 fight cards in a week is an obscene amount of fighting to go on. But at the same time, it's nice to know as you think your employer's got you opportunities to work. So there's always chances for you to step in for fights, maybe. And we don't know obviously what's going to happen with crowds, but at the moment, as long as there's fights on, it means you can carry on your career, getting the W's back under the belt. Mike, obviously over the time you've had off. Have you had any new experiences in time off when you're injured now? But you must obviously you can coach like you have been. You help your family and stuff. Have you got anything else under your plate? 'Cause obviously with the more notoriety coming with the FC, I imagine a bit more attention might come your way.
Yeah, I mean, it has with sponsorships and things like that. I mean, after my fight, I had to have 12 weeks. Well, 12 weeks no contact. But as soon as I fought and I got back and had my operation, I was training the day after my operation. To be honest. So. Yeah, I'm non-stop training since my last fight, but just no contact for 12 weeks. I had to have 3 months off. But yeah, I've still obviously been coaching my son. You know, he's coming through. He's 16 now. He's leaving school this year. Well, he's pretty much left school now. Let's be honest. His exams
Yeah.
are cancelled. He's leaving school this time. You know, I've been spending some time with him. He's been training on the mats with me in Liverpool while the school's been closed. So yeah, he's you know, and obviously I've got. Better mention, I've got a baby on the way. He's due when I get back from Fight Island. So I've been busy, man.
I was going to say you've been a busy man. Yeah, I saw that on your social media. It was something I was going to bring up at the end here, but because obviously fatherhood, as you know, is fantastic, and it's who you know can't say no to a little one. It's a great addition to the family. It's great to have that feeling. And look, I made up for you with that side of things, mate. And I'm sure the whole family's buzzing and excited about it. Have you guys decided on any rough? Have you got any names yet? Have you thought about any names yet?
It's a little boy, another little boy. It's going to be. So we're looking at calling him Junior. That's what we're
Okay.
thinking.
That's all right,
So
yeah. Because you know, I expected like with the names that people give their kids these days, you could have had anything like lamppost or apple, bananas, custard.
yeah, no, God, good names to tell you.
Yeah, there's some names out there that are absolutely bewildering, mate. But as long as Mrs. is healthy and everyone's healthy, that's the main thing. Look, Mike, thanks for your time, buddy. I'm gonna let you get going and enjoy fight time, mate. It's going to be great to see you back in the cage. I'll be tuning in. I know all the boys that follow you as well, all in the UFC group that I've got looking at, keep an eye on this fight too, mate. So it's great to have you back in there.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Look at that. Beautiful. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, mate, honestly, have a great scrap. I think this kind of fight suits you to the team, mate. With your power nose hands, he's gonna want to try and get the takedowns because he throws. For me, I think he throws like a head kick, which is quite a not even dangerous, but it's more. He doesn't even set it up.
No, I've watched him a lot. Obviously, I mean, that is something I actually have changed. Like